Blizzard are suing Turtle WoW. So, does this mean Classic Plus? You have to wonder. So, the lawsuit with Blizzard is they filed a copyright infringement suit against Turtle WoW, a popular private server modified for World of Warcraft Classic custom content. Those of you may know because you may well have played it. And there's also other private servers out there. Well, we'll find out whether they also get bitten by the Blizzard sue bug. Because you've got Ascension with 45k. Turtle WoW also has something like 44k people. Like, the private servers have been popping off lately. And I think Blizzard have noticed. And I don't think it's necessarily just a case of them being like, yeah, okay, we need to clamp down on this because there's too many people. They tend to do this when they have something to work on. Remember the Classic Plus way back? And there was the Blizzard suing a private server back then? Yeah. I think right here, Blizzard shuts down a fan-hosted server, and then you get the BlizzCon announcement of Classic Plus. Or rather, World of Warcraft Classic. So, redoing the same game. But this time, with Classic Plus, you've got Turtle WoW doing their own custom content, Ascension Epoch doing their own custom content, and many others, Bronzebeard, etc., etc. It goes on. So, I think there could be something brewing here, personally. That might be cope, you let me know. But we'll have to find out what's going on. So, the question is Blizzard preparing for this Classic Plus? Do you think they're preparing for Classic Plus? So, this is the news. Remember the season discovery? Yeah, that team has been in the background looking for something to work on now, right? They did a good job with season discovery, I think. They learned some things. It was an experiment as far as they claim it to be. And they want to go forward and maybe make something bigger and something better, right? And they need more of an excuse to do that. And these private servers are kind of giving them an excuse to do that because it shows there's an audience. There's an audience there that want to play Classic Plus. And Blizzard are not that dumb. They might be a little bit off these days, but they're not that dumb. They do still notice these things. So I reckon there's a really good chance. But you have to bear with me. It might be a bit of cope. So you've got to look at Turtle WoW. It's been around a long time. So why now, right? They could have sued them way back. Why now? That's always the question. It's like, why now? Maybe it's just inevitability. It's just like, well, it was going to happen at some point, and it's just so happened to be now. But there's normally reasons behind these motions. So, again, that's the way I look at it. The developers of Turtle WoW have released numerous updates for Mysteries of Azeroth, and the update to the Unreal Engine 5. So rebuilding the client in Unreal Engine 5. So it's either something maybe to do with Classic Plus, or it's Turtle WoW have pushed their luck too much, because I remember reading comments about people saying that they've been advertising Turtle WoW on like YouTube and such. So that's obviously a breach right there. And now they're building the game again, but on a separate client, so maybe they can try to separate it from the original product and then sell it. Do you see what I mean? Not necessarily sell it, but, you know, make cosmetics and DLC for it, etc., etc., that you can purchase whilst you're using that client. I mean, they're already basically doing that with the client they currently have, but then putting it onto Unreal Engine 5, maybe Blizzard is stepping in now and being like, yo, you're going a little bit too far there, buddy. You guys probably know a bit better than I do, so I'll be interested what you guys think. Whether it is a Classic Plus thing or it's just Blizzard stomping their foot down because they're like, whoa, right. We know you guys are, you know, you're pushing your luck, but this is going too far. So, yeah, I reckon there's something to do with that. Notably, Blizzard launched World of Warcraft Classic in 2019, giving an official version of the original game experience. The developers have continued to update Classic with the original expansions. And now they've had the Mr. Pandaria. And didn't they say something like they were working on something big was the next one? I think that's what the Season Discovery team said. So the next thing they're going to be doing is actually going to be big. So Reddit comments involve official Classic Plus announcement in 3, 2, 1. I know, that's what we're all thinking along those lines. Blizzard have taken down private servers many years before. SOD was a huge success. They're going to be working on more. That's what I reckon. Blizzard has sued biggest Classic Plus private server on the market. So I knew this was coming. A lot of people apparently knew this was coming. I didn't necessarily know this was coming. Yeah, they're saying they're shocked. No bots, no gold sellers. Shocker at the same time. Blizzard, why don't you hire these people to develop Classic Plus for you? Now that's a good point to end on. Shouldn't Blizzard do that thing that, you know, governments sometimes do, where they hire pro thieves to work on security? Not necessarily governments, private firms. They're like, this guy keeps breaking into our cars. He's really good at it. Why don't we actually give him a wage? And therefore he stops breaking into our cars without our, you know, our say-so. And therefore he's happy, we're learning something from it, and we're improving our security. So perhaps Blizzard should do something like that with Classic Plus. Of course, they wouldn't necessarily go and hire, but they could maybe pick specific people that are very good and talented and are willing to jump on board. I don't think Blizzard's going to hire everyone, but do you see what I mean? It's like that logic of, these people are very good at making it. They've clearly worked hard. They've got an audience. This is a private thing. It's not like publicly well known like Blizzard is. Yet they've managed to find tens of thousands, etc. of players. That's a lot of money that Blizzard could potentially be making, you know, on their subscriptions. There's an audience there. And that's not even including the public. I don't think your average World of Warcraft goer knows that much when it comes to, you know, private servers. So, what do you guys think? I'm curious. I reckon there's more to this. I reckon Blizzard are going to want to make a Classic Plus. Have they done a BlizzCon announcement this year? Because it's getting up. I don't know if they've got BlizzCon 2025. BlizzCon will not be held in 2025. So there's no official announcement to be made, at least in this case. I don't know if they're going to do an e-BlizzCon. I guess maybe not. They're kind of skipping years these times. So this really could just be Blizzard putting their foot down. But I genuinely don't know. I want to see what's going to happen with this, personally. This is just very curious to me. Obviously, I'm very keen on a Classic Plus, or at least another excuse to sort of play through, because you may have noticed I did play through Epoch. I've basically finished with that now. I wasn't too satisfied, mostly with the Druid. There was a clunkiness to the Tiger's Fury, and effectively, if I wanted to do pumping damage, I couldn't really do that because I was hamstrung by the Tiger's Fury being removed when you leave cat form. So power shifting would remove the stacks of the bleed that you were doing, which was adding physical damage. So you were losing the physical damage to power shift to do more damage to get more energy. So if you've ever played Druid before, there's power shifting business going on. And it felt like I was being punished for trying to do better. So then I had to sort of restrict myself, and I don't like that. So I'd be interested to see what Blizzard could do with a Classic Plus. Obviously, I wouldn't want them to go too crazy with it. What do you want from Classic Plus? Do you want it to just basically be classic, but with some bells and whistles? Or do you really want them to go quite crazy and add some new abilities and class mechanics, heck, even new classes? Where would you draw the line with Classic Plus? I'm curious. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. I'm sure you guys may have already heard about this, but I thought I'd come in and pipe in my own thoughts and give a little bit of cope and see whether you guys are coping too. Take care.